Hey guys, it is MissSimReno. If you are returning to the channel, welcome back. And if you're brand new, I am very excited that you decided to join me here today for another speed build. And we're actually building in Nordhaven. And I'm really stoked about this one because number one, I haven't built in this world that much, to be frank. And I really haven't built that many small businesses because my creativity does have limits apparently, because I can't come up with any ideas for small businesses. But I did find this image on Pinterest and I thought, you know what, this is kind of fun. I think this is industrial looking. It could fit into the world of Nordhaven. Also, if you hear, my God, that's loud. That was a plow outside my house. I'm just going to leave it in because I can't edit it out. But yeah, I saw this inspo image and I thought, you know what, that's actually really fun. Very industrial looking, like I said. And I think I can make it fit into Nordhaven really, really well. So I was excited. I took some creative liberties just to kind of match some of the other like architectural details that I see in a lot of industrial style builds. And what I really, really loved about this inspo image was this part right here where it had like this really big slanted glass roof type thing. And I was like, I think we can do that in The Sims. I think we can make this work. So I don't know, I was just really excited about it. I thought it came out really, really cute. And it's very different. That plow, insane. Actually insane. That's really loud. We did just get a little bit of snow, like not even that much, just a little teeny tiny bit of snow. But the plows are out because thankfully my street is paved. And I say that because when we actually moved into our house, the street was a dirt road, and nothing wrong with that, but it was a dirt road. And the contractor who was building our house was like, yeah, they plan actually on paving it. And we're like, sure, we'll see. We'll see. Cause it's a town road. And then not even maybe 6 months to a year later, they absolutely paved it. And it's so interesting because like our street, the town line for the next town over is quite literally the next house down from us. So that part of the road is still a dirt road, but our part is paved. Like, we're winning here. We are winning because in the winter makes a huge difference. Anyway, I'll stop talking about the plow that went by my house. But yeah, I really had fun with this build. And you can tell from the title, of course, in the thumbnail, this is going to be like a wine and painting small business with an apartment upstairs. Now, is this an original idea? No. No, I'm sure other people have done this. This would be, I would think, a go-to with businesses and hobbies, to be honest, because I don't know, it just makes sense to me. It really just does. I don't know. And this is of course I would say, I don't know if it's still really popular. It was really popular at least like 5 to 10 years, could be a lot actually. It was really popular maybe 5 to 10 years ago. I don't know. But there's like a chain of businesses. I don't even remember the name anymore, but essentially you can go, they have paint nights and you can get glasses of wine while you paint, right? It's fun. I think it's really like, it's millennial coded, like to a T, it's millennial coded, but I love the idea. And I'm saying this because I need to ensure that I stay on top of it and actually do the thing. Okay. So this is like my own accountability video for myself, and you all can yell at me about it if you want to. So as many of you may know, I did release a book last year. I wrote a book. I self-published it because I do not think we are at the caliber of going like traditional publishing. Look, I'm not knocking myself down a peg. Like genuinely, that's a ridiculous idea from where I'm standing. So I figured, you know what? I wrote a little story. I want to share it with people. If they like it, great. If not, no biggie. So I self-published a book, and then I actually have a second book coming out this year. It was supposed to come out last year, but I had a baby and time is an enigma. It definitely got away from me. So I have a second book coming out this year, but not only a second book, I have a third book coming out this year. And I think the second and third one are coming out at the same time because they are part of a duology. And why does this connect to this build, you may ask? Because in the third book, the couple, or well, we'll say the love interests, they do go out on a date for painting and wine. And I was rereading said book because I'm trying to make sure that the edits are finalized and I didn't overlook anything. And I was rereading that scene and I thought, what would this look like in real life, right? Like I described it in the book, obviously, but what am I actually picturing this to have looked like? And granted, I think the interior doesn't really reflect what I described in the book, so I wasn't trying to actually replicate it, but I was like, this is a fun idea. Maybe I could turn this like weird industrial build that I ended up constructing in Nordhaven with no idea. Like when I was doing the exterior, I did not know what the interior was going to be, which is why I just have random signs on the outside. I had no clue. I just knew there was going to be an apartment upstairs and a business downstairs. Didn't know what it was going to be. So as I got to that chapter and I was rereading it, I was like, I could do that. That could be fun. That could be fun. It'll have like some kind of like worn industrial vibes, maybe some, I'm not gonna say modern, but maybe some more contemporary pieces. I don't know. And then upstairs is gonna be like the same exact vibe. And I really liked how it came out. I was so happy. I was so happy with this. I love it so much. And my favorite part of the interior here, granted, there's of course a big bar because, right, you have to get drinks, wine, all that fun stuff. My favorite part though is actually a neon sign from the Cozy Kitsch kit. And I used it as like the logo for the business, and it just fit the aesthetic so well, in my opinion. I loved it. I changed the color of the light too. I think to kind of I want to say like a purpley pink or something. It was just kind of a nice glow on the interior. I also loved using this more like rustic bar from Adventure Awaits, as well as the overhead lights from that same exact pack. I don't know. It was just really fun. I think the layout might be, it's a little bit odd, like this little platformed area. Granted, there's like an archway / door from the entryway. There isn't from the bar here, but I liked this space because it was an opportunity for your Sims to sit and play. Oh, what's that freaking game we got with Lovestruck? Whatever it is, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. I added a couple of those onto some like bar height tables, and it was just kind of nice. It's a way for your Sims to like get a drink and maybe go play a game after they're done painting, or while they're waiting for an easel to free up. That was kind of my thought. And here's the entryway where I did add, this is an event reward from the what's it called? Deck the Palms event, whatever the heck it is. Dumb event. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. Stupid event. Not excited about it, but it was purely a login event, and I wanted the tiny library, and I wanted this little kiosk. But I have a gripe about that because there were items in there that you would not be able to get unless you had certain DLC. Didn't like that. And this was one of them, because you can't have this kiosk that sits on top of a desk or countertop unless you have businesses and hobbies. This right here, a countertop kiosk, should have come with the pack. I think it's ridiculous it didn't in the first place. I'm glad it's in my game, but I digress because I was not happy about that. Anyway, this is the entryway. Loved what I did with the curtain from the Blooming Rooms kit and all the little string lights. I haven't played with these string lights from businesses and hobbies, so I was really excited to use them here. I like framed all the doorways. I added some details to some walls, and I loved making this kind of backdrop to the logo right in the entryway. I thought it was so cool. I was really proud of it. I was really excited about it. Now, you also may notice, before anybody says anything, you're not going to see me make a bathroom downstairs. And you're probably like, April, do you want the Sims to just pee all over the floor as they do in small businesses? My answer to you is no. So off camera, I do add a bathroom. It's like a little one stall bathroom. It is nothing fancy whatsoever because I honestly didn't want to dismantle the floor plan that I had come up with and all the decorations I'd placed down. So I did my best to work with the space that I ended up having. Now over here is where you could get like canvases and paintbrushes. And I was thinking, even though this is technically tattoo ink, I was thinking that those were all the little paints that your Sims could go get if they have to get certain colors for certain images that you're going to be painting that night. Because I would assume that a lot of these places, they are going to be painting a certain thing each night. So you're picking a particular session that you want to attend so you can paint a particular thing. But here I added like this little stand with these stools, and off camera, I do add a couple of like plants and sculpture type things that are just kind of like goofy. Again, like really millennial coded. And look, I say this, I just watched a video on YouTube about how millennials are the worst. I'm a millennial, okay? So you can't come for me about how millennials are the worst, especially with like their humor. And I'm offended. I'm offended. It's like the goofy, over the top, like think Jim Carrey type humor. Look, it's funny to me. I can't help it, but it's a little bit cringy when us older millennials actually do stuff like that sometimes. At least that's what the video was alluding to. And anyway, what I was trying to say is this is very millennial coded because like the sculptures are like goofy and silly, and I don't know. Am I just like blabbering? Probably. I haven't really had my coffee yet. Granted, I only drink decaf now anyway, but I haven't had my coffee yet. It's kind of first thing in the morning. I just got up with my child, fed them, and handed them off to dad so I could get some recording done. And I knew going into this voiceover, I'm like, this is going to be a little bit of a mess, isn't it? Yeah, I'm not going to know what to talk about. We're going to go on tangents as per usual. But yes, downstairs is pretty much done. We have all the easels there. Again, the little stools for like various sculptures or flowers or whatever. And then this area right here, I don't put anything. There is this big clock that I was thinking was maybe part of like an original clock tower of this build, but it was preserved and hung on the interior. I don't know. That was kind of my idea. I liked the idea. But this is actually the entrance to the apartment. So I add some stairs over here, and there really aren't that many decorations here on the landing area. I don't know if I made the downstairs there private, as in like residential, because you have to designate certain spaces if you didn't know, for either like employees only. I think it's residential, and then shared is basically to the public, anything small business related. But I have the mailbox there, and then there's like a little balcony where I do put another easel. So actually, I think I did make this landing area private. I made it residential because the balcony, like I said, has an easel, and I was thinking that the sim that owns this business obviously lives upstairs, and they also very much enjoy painting, hence the business that they opened in the first place. Oh my God, I keep stopping this voiceover because my nose is getting plugged. I swear, I can't tell for sure, but I think my child may or may not have had a touch of a small cold. Either that, or they're just super drooly because they may or may not be starting to teeth. It could also be a combination of things. Who knows? But now I'm starting to feel stuffed up, and I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like it. I also sound a little bit like a chain smoker when I laugh, but here we are. Anyway, we're working on the apartment upstairs now, and it is, again, very much industrial. Just like downstairs, there's a ton of these big, tall windows from businesses and hobbies. There we go. And I love that so much. Now, when I was originally doing the kitchen, I did have this really big island because this was the perfect opportunity for it. But I do pull back, and I think I pull back off camera. I add the bar because, lo and behold, the one time I was excited about there being a particular bar in The Sims was for this build, because there is a bar that matches this countertop set from base game. That was actually kind of nice, okay? We have too many bars in The Sims. I don't know why we get a new bar with every freaking pack. I think it's ridiculous. Actually, you know what? I'm starting to think about it. I think I know why we do. It's probably, I don't know, I'm speculating. It's probably because they're making some objects to fit in with lot types that are strictly base game. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Like, you can have bars and lounges in base game, but there are like a ton of different lot types where a bar might be applicable as well. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Am I making sense? I feel like they add objects that also enhance base game too. Oh my God, I had to take another pause because I just sneezed right in the middle of my sentence. I swear to God, I'm getting a cold, and I'm gonna have to go back to work. I've been off work. I gave myself a little bit of a long vacation because why not? I had the PTO to spare. Now I have to go back to work, and I'm gonna sound awful. Darn it, why couldn't I have just been sick on my vacation? Honestly, it wouldn't have made any difference to me. Anyway, that was my thought behind there being a bar all the time, because at least bars are like base game lots. They're pretty much one of the few community lot types that we have with particular objects, as well as like playgrounds, which we obviously just got as a lot type. And the number of playground equipment requirements are silly. I think they changed them, but they were silly. Anyway, I feel like that's why we get a bar in every pack. And we're moving on here. I can just keep repeating myself. This is the living room. It is kind of a studio apartment, so I can't really say the living room. It's the living space. And I've got like the salt lamp in the corner, which I love that salt lamp so much. We have these couches from the Industrial Loft kit, as well as the coffee table from the same kit. And then I also add these beautiful, beautiful pillows that we got from, was it West Africa? Is that where the influence is from? Please correct me if I'm wrong. I just can't remember. I looked it up at one point. Now my memory is just, I have the memory of a goldfish, honestly, ever since having a child. It is my excuse, and I'm going to be sticking to it because I genuinely can't remember anything unless it pertains to them at this point, or my job. This is kind of a job. This is like my part-time job, but like this is my fun, I don't have to remember things job. Anyway, I can't remember, but we had this update where we got some what am I trying to say? Objects that were heavily inspired by, I believe Africa, and maybe West Africa in particular. I can't recall, but these pillows are gorgeous. There's so many beautiful patterns, and I thought it was kind of fun to mix and match a bit in this living space to make it look, I don't know, less put together. Like I wasn't trying to make everything match in this apartment. And this is also when I decided to add the little tiny library outside, because why not? I got it in the event and I was excited to use it. And I'm curious, it's just probably just going to function like a bookcase, right? Like that's probably what it is. I don't know, but I thought it was cute. And in the studio apartment, again, they have an easel out on their little balcony, but I also add an easel inside too. I think they love to paint. I don't add a ton of paintings in their apartment because honestly, there really isn't that much wall space to do that. But I feel as though maybe downstairs, maybe you could add this because, oh, I didn't do this. Maybe downstairs. Oh, wait, this is an idea. Okay, in that big empty space where the big clock is on the wall, maybe that could also be part of the small business, but you could get one of those big like display things for your Sims to sell their own paintings. Maybe that can actually be like a bit more of a gallery where this Sim sells their artwork when... well, you can't separate businesses. That's kind of silly. I was gonna say maybe you could open one and then open the other. Like you could have the paint and wine place open one night, and then maybe other times they open their gallery. But it's pretty much all the same because you can't separate those. Either way, that could be an idea. That could be really fun. You could have your Sims sell their paintings and kind of. Yeah, they could host that. They could sell their paintings and tend that station. They could hire somebody else to run the bar, and that's all you would need for employees, because I think the tasks that I would set for the small business is like be friendly, paint on the easel, drink bar drinks, and play that game that I'm not going to try to remember the name of again. I think that's what I did. Yeah, I think that's what I did. And then you could also add like view and buy objects or something like that, and then you'd have all the paintings for sale. Oh, that's fun. Why didn't I think about this yesterday? Literally yesterday when I finished this build. Probably because I'm sleep deprived. Again, that's my excuse for everything. I am sleep deprived. I recently had a child with a cold. Like I said, I think they have a cold. I think maybe. And they had one night, man, oh my gosh, they did not sleep unless they were snuggled up to me. And did that warm my heart? Yes. I said I would never, ever do this, but I ended up very safely, mind you, very safely. I looked up all of the things to try to do this safely. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. They just were not going back to sleep after like giving them a bottle. And I felt so bad. And me and my husband were so tired. He went out and slept on the couch, and I brought the little one into my completely stripped back bed, fell asleep immediately, snuggled up with me. I basically stayed awake the rest of the morning. I didn't really get sleep, but they needed to get sleep. So I just like watched them sleep for like 4 hours until they got up in the morning. And yeah, so parent life, this is what I have to talk about now. But yeah, the apartment is almost actually done here too. I'm just adding some lights. Of course, we have the bedroom here. That is platformed just to make it a little bit different. Oh, and I also added this neon sign from the Cozy Gamer kit because I thought that was just kind of fun to put in the kitchen. It's very reminiscent of the neon that's downstairs. And then I add a coffee machine, some other decorative clutter items and whatnot. There's only maybe one countertop that your Sims could use to cook. I don't know if they can use the corner of the bar. I would highly doubt it. And then I also added one of those storage crates from Horse Ranch. So if your Sim actually gets any nectar to age, they could do that too. But I just thought it was kind of a nice touch. And they've got the bar here instead of like a true big island, because I feel like they try to entertain people as well. And they often serve drinks because they're in the business of doing that. And then over here is just going to be the bathroom. Nothing special. There is a shower tub combo, a sink, and a toilet. All the things your Sims need to be able to clean themselves and go to the bathroom. Right, I've embarrassed myself enough. Hope you all enjoyed this one. Can't wait to hear your thoughts. And I will catch you next time I post a video, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Through the haze, every street is telling me your name. Still the night won't let me go, chasing off the echoes all the same. Will I run from what I feel? turns the wheel. In the dark your voice remains, pulling me through all that change. Is falling into place. I can feel a turning tide. Everything reminds me of your face. Will I run from what is true? Every step leads back to you. In the dark the light appears, pulling me through all that you